Hello friend and welcome back. Today we are going to do a dual review. One product you've heard about a million times and the other I talked about a long time ago and I've used it off and on. Wonderful product, but I'm using them in a different way and it's been amazing. First off, a big disclaimer, while I am a registered nurse and I do function in aesthetics, I am not able to give you medical advice and you should really see a dermatologist about this. But this is about my journey and my experience. Hopefully you can take something helpful away from it. I have realized that I probably need a better lighting setup. I've dealt with KP, keratosis pilaris, which is a dry skin that plugs up in the hair follicle and can be bumpy, red, sometimes itchy, but mostly it's just a pain in the butt because it's very hard to get rid of. I've dealt with it for years and years and years, and just in most recent years, it has gotten worse. I don't know what to attribute that to, but it's gotten worse, more of a pain in the butt, so I have tried to address it with a variety of things. Chemical exfoliants, particularly amlactin, here in the US is very, very popular. It's a lactic acid, very creamy, horrible smelling moisturizer, but it does tend to work pretty well for folks. It's not perfect. A lot of things are not perfect. You wind up using a very extensive routine and you have to keep to it. If you skip a day or two, it comes back with a vengeance. The biggest thing that comes with KP is just this dry skin plugging things up and irritating the skin. So you get your redness and you have your bumpiness from the skin plug, which is so gross to talk about. Chemical exfoliants do a good job at loosening that dead skin. Chemical exfoliants, especially AHAs or alpha hydroxy acids, are going to loosen that glue that holds dead skin to the surface of our skin so that it can slough off more normally. Of course, your body will do this eventually, but when we have pathologies like this, doing something to help it along, like a leave-on chemical exfoliant, is helpful because we're going to help loosen that up so that we can get rid of the stuff that's plugging up the follicle and the pore, and get rid of that bumpy dead skin. Dry brushing is really popular for this. Manual exfoliation, like a scrub brush or exfoliating beads, are very popular for this, and they do provide some temporary relief because they're just taking down that superficial layer of dead skin. That can wind up irritating skin, so can chemical exfoliants, and we'll talk about that, but mechanical exfoliation seems to give you faster results. Chemical exfoliation seems to almost need to be a part of your KP journey. Lactic acid is very popular for this because it is both moisturizing as well as exfoliating, and it's also gentle, versus glycolic acid, which is stronger, it goes to deeper levels, but that can also be more irritating because it's not hydrating, and it is stronger. My more delicate skin, so from kind of the neck up, really doesn't like glycolic acid. I wind up peeling for days. If you've watched this far, you've seen this bottle before. It is the Ordinary Glycolic Acid 7% Exfoliating Toner. pH is about 3.6, which is where we want it to do effective exfoliation. We won't talk about that too much, but it's the right stuff and it's inexpensive. This product has been used for a lot of different things, and I know, stay with me, we're going to add something else fun to this, but a lot of folks who are trying to get rid of KP or deal with a multitude of other complaints, from stinky feet, body odor, underarm odor, help with sunspots on hands, help with dry feet. This is a really multi-use product because it's at a really decent range as far as concentration goes. From the neck down, you should be able to use this pretty frequently and not wind up in trouble. I used it twice a day for quite some time, made a lot of progress on my KP, and then started peeling and irritation, so needed to step that back. But then I found this combination. Great barrier relief. This is one that probably also, if you watch this channel for any length of time, you are probably nerdy enough that you know this product and how amazing it is. So glycolic acid, this one from The Ordinary is $13 US for 8.1 fluid ounces or 250 milliliters, which lasts a very good long time. And then Great Barrier Relief, this is the jumbo size, and it is $50 for 3.38 fluid ounces or 100 milliliters. Crave Beauty, amazing little brand. They are very focused on solutions and keep it nice and small. They aren't just making products to make products. The main ingredient that's doing the legwork in here is tamanu oil, which has a lot of good fatty acids in it. Tamanu oil also is antimicrobial, so it's going to help rebalance that microbiome by getting rid of some of the overgrowth of bacteria and irritating bacteria that can live on our skin, as well as being really nourishing by having lots of fatty acids, very robust concentrations of fatty acids, which we know are restorative and healing to the skin, especially skin that's in trouble and the barrier is compromised, like if you're beating it up with glycolic acid twice a day. But when I put this on and then a couple pumps of this before bed, it's perfect. It's really moisturizing but doesn't feel super gross. I can sleep through it, and by morning it doesn't feel like it's super heavy. And I think this is just that perfect combination of really getting those follicles unplugged, getting the dead skin to loosen up and slough off over the course of a few weeks. And this is going in and repairing any of that impaired barrier that the acid might be encouraging, as well as just calming inflammation, which is part of the redness that we see with KP. We want to calm that inflammation down. We want to keep overgrowth down, because if you beat up the skin too much, you're also going to open it up to infection, and all the bacteria that lives on our skin can make things worse. So being antimicrobial, I think it helps just keep that harmony. And then back to tamanu oil specifically, it is very high in oleic acid as well as linoleic acid, which is omega-6 fatty acid. It's an essential fatty acid that we can't produce on our own, so we have to eat it or apply it topically. It is the most abundant fatty acid in the epidermis. So in that superficial layer of skin, not the dead layer, but in that top layer of skin that's still living, it's also the precursor to natural ceramides. So we're helping the body by giving it some nourishing, replenishing stuff, as well as giving it the tools to make more ceramides, which is the good glue that goes between living cells. And last but not least, calophilic acid helps with wound healing. It helps with scar revision, even old scars. Usually if a scar's been around for a year or so, it's tricky for topicals. It's tricky for a lot of things to change it, but it's tricky for topicals particularly to change the appearance or the healing of it, because it's pretty well done. Even just a couple months, 2-3 months of application to old scars helps revise them so that they're less red, less hyperpigmented, less scar tissue in there, so more normal collagen. So it helps those scars fade into the background better. So all of that said, this is my magical combination. Try it, see what you think. It does take time. It definitely takes time. This is not exact. You just splash a bunch of it on. I make a little palm full of it and rub it between my hands and then just pat it all the way up my arms. I let that dry for 30 seconds or so. It dries pretty quickly. And then literally I put probably 3 pumps of this. All this stuff. It does have a very interesting scent to it. It's sort of a sweet planty scent. Put about 3 pumps of that in my palms and then take that up both arms. And I have seen not only improvements in the KP, which is amazing. I've also seen the hyperpigmentation, like little sunspots and hypopigmentation, start to level out. I don't have an answer for why the hypopigmentation. I have 2 spots on both of my, well, 1 spot on both arms, and it is fading into the background. Like I have to actually look for it now, which is crazy. There's the proof in the pudding for me. I know I don't have a before picture. I'll try to find some gross pictures. I'm sure I've sent them to a dermatologist at some point, so you can see what it was before. And yeah, I hope this helps. It took about probably 3 weeks of me using this combination once a day right before bed to see everything level out. So I was recovering from the peeling and drying and seeing KP actually settle down again to where I am now. Thank you so much for watching. There's more content coming soon. I just wanted to get on this one because it's too good to hold back. Keep it to myself. Until next time, be well, my friend.